Welcome back to another YouTube video of FlareFX, where we make trading very simple. So in this week, I'll be breaking down gold and Nasdaq. So stay tuned. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do hit that notification bell as well, so you can be notified every single time I post. And excuse my voice for this video, I'm kind of going through flu and my voice is kind of raspy, but like just stay in tune. It's going to be interesting, and a lot of you guys have been asking for gold and Nasdaq, so I'm gonna do that today and see how that goes. If the feedback goes well, Nasdaq and gold will be a feature in every single week breakdown. Alright, so let's get started. Obviously, you know what we do on the FlareFX. We always mark out the market structure before we even go into entry time frames and everything else, right? So this is happening all on the daily time frame. This is gold, as you can clearly see. So before we even start marking out everything, we just need to understand the overall trend of everything. As you can clearly see, we are in a downtrend. There you go. That's a clear downtrend. We are moving lower and lower, right? So now we'll just focus on the current market price action, because we know we're in a downtrend. We don't need to really look so far back. So we come out when we mark out these. So this is a low, this is a high, this is a low, this is a high, right? Perfection. Then we come over here and we label out the market structure right now. We'll classify this as a BOS. Initially, an internal change of character happen over here, but obviously we understand that we're in a downtrend and we know we're looking for sales, so marking out the intricate stuff is not necessary because we understand where we're trying to go, right? Okay, clean cut finish, that's only on the daily time frame. We already marked out everything that we need to see, and we head over to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, as you can clearly see, price has melted. It just melted all the way down here with beautiful, it probably respected this OP over here, this order block over here. This order block had, let me just fix everything so you can clearly see. This order block purged liquidity, hence why it was a valid one, and it purged and it fell all the way down. So with me personally, I don't really trade gold and Nasdaq like that, but it's pretty interesting pairs because I'm a currency specialist as much as it is. But like tapping into the indices and these types of markets, it makes you become a better trader overall. You get what I mean? So overall, as I can clearly see, we've broken these lows with strong momentum. So I can still see us still going further down and down. You get what I mean? So we had a pullback initially. It respected this OP over here. It did purge the liquidity over here. So we'll just go on the lower time frame to understand what's happening. So now the 1-hour time frame is our entry time frame. You get what I mean? This is the time frame we look for entries, we look for market structures, any types of things that we see on this time frame is the things that we mark out, right? So clean cut finish, this is a low, this is a high, right? So we can classify this as a as a BOS, clean cut finish. So already I can automatically see, right, these were equal highs, relatively equal highs before we even go to the 15-minute, right? So we can classify this as a purge of liquidity. Wait, let me just mark it out. Clean cut finish. This is a purge of liquidity on the lower time frames, right? Because it looks clean on the 1 hour. As you can see, all the candles are respecting this high, and then initially just purges out and breaks it and melts, right? So we'll go on the 15-minute time frame to see what's clearly happening, right? So now, as you can clearly see, price went up. It was very corrective as much as it is, and then it broke down, it melted, right? So automatically, since we see that type of movement, we understand that we need to use our fib to understand where price could come back in terms of a pullback more than anything else, right? So we come and we mark out this. So the Fibonacci tells us this zone is where it's very important. Let's go to the 1-hour time frame to see. The Fibonacci tells us this zone is very important. Okay, I could mark it out as much as it is, but for me, I'm really interested in this order block that I see over here, right? This order block is one that's thing because it happened after the purge of liquidity and it melted, and there's what do we call this, an impulse showing that there's smart money involved. These candles show that the price could come back to further close out and mitigate these positions, and and now obviously looking at it at a very deeper level, right, we can mark this out as an internal change of character, right? And then we could use the Fibonacci again properly, and it marks out like this, right? So here's where it gets interesting, especially with gold, Nasdaq, US30, that I've realized is that like these pairs, the order blocks that you usually highlight are really big, right? So one piece of advice I could possibly use for this one is using a box, right? A Gantt box to kind of mark out the 50% range of this whole order block and executing based off of that, right? And with this one is high confidence because even the, even the the Fibonacci tool correlates with it, because you see, like, this is relatively around the area we would want to execute, right? So we could remove this, right, and then place our sell limit over here, stop loss just below here, and then our take profit, our Fibonacci will tell us, let's just do it like this, all the way up here. So our Fibonacci is telling us our take profit 1 is relatively at this low. Makes sense, because we usually do target the lows, right? We will mark this out. We'll mark this out like that. And then take profit 2 is obviously right over here, right? So we move this, right? And then for a clean, we'll even use it like this, just for being extra precautious, right? Okay, yeah. There you go. It's a clean cut entry. This is a 1:7, relatively a 6.9, but we could call it 1:7. Clean for gold. This is a very good one. So we can anticipate something like some movement, some liquidity being created, liquidity being purged, the same way it did over here, and then price melting. This is liquidity with the X on top, right? So yes, then now we'll move over to Nasdaq. Right, so now we have Nasdaq. This is one of my favorite indices, as much as it is. I don't trade it as much as I'd like to, but it's very, very, very good, as much as it is right now at the current moment that we are in, right? So cool. Before anything else, let's just try to understand the market structure, right? So for me, what I can clearly see is that we are in some sort of a downtrend, but we are just about to reverse all the way to the top, right? Respectfully is the 1, 2, 3 touches, hence why the reaction happened over here, right? And another thing that I've been seeing that's been very clear is that we have this order block over here that had a thingy, and then that's probably 50% as mitigate. There you go. So clean cut finish, hence the reaction that happened. So we are in a pretty cool zone, and the fact that it has been moving like this is very nice. So we'll go to the 4-hour time frame, leaving on the market structure, right? Okay, cool, clean cut finish, right? So price has melted all the way down here, and then as soon as it got to this point, it has been moving very correctively. As you can clearly see, it's been moving very, very, very corrective, hence why looking at reversals was something I was interested in, right? So cool. And then also this order block over here, I don't know if it did it respect it or it purged through it. Yeah, it purged through it, right? So to get to this point, we obviously respected the daily POI that we just marked out in the daily time frame, right? We remove all of this because we understand that, okay, cool, we are in some sort of downtrend. These are 1, 2, 3 touch. We could even highlight these. That's the touch, that's the touch, that's the touch, that's the touch, that's a touch 2, that's a touch 2, right? So now we can clearly see that the market is trying to go up, right? How do we know this, right? The fact that there is some sort of change of character that happened on the lower time frames, right? So we come over here. So this was the original low, right? So let's start from here so you can understand how I get my entries. We come over here. There was a purge of liquidity that happened over here, right? Purge of liquidity that happened over here. We mark it out as this, right? This purge of liquidity came over here, and then there was a strong influx move up, right? Hence which created this order block over here. This order block over here was respected. Price went up over here and then changed what? Character. We could call this an internal change of no, but it's on the 1 hour time frame. We can call this a change of character, right? And price carried on what? Moving higher and higher, right? So we could classify this as a low, a high, this is a high, right? Okay, clean cut finish, right? So now price is looking to come within the zone, right, as we can clearly see. So now marking out the order blocks that I can see over here, we could go to the lower time frame just to understand what we can see clearly. So right, yes, so for me personally, let's see what the Fibonacci tells us first. Fibonacci tells us that we are interested in this zone over here, hence why this order block is very, 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 very interesting. Why do I say that? Because initially I was gonna mark out this high over here, this low over here, right? But now the order block that it had printed is already been mitigated. Can you see? This order block has already been mitigated and price carried on moving up, right? So now here's a situation. This is a purge of liquidity on the lower time frames. I could go on the lower time frame just to show you. As you can clearly see, there was a purge of liquidity that happened over here. We go on to the 15-minute time frame. Now, the interesting thing about trading is that you can execute these positions and hold them for a long period of time, because we understand the higher time frame structure, right? So we mark out this high over here, this order block over here, and now the nice thing is that there's some sort of liquidity building over here, right? We can mark this out as liquidity, clean cut finish. Now let me zoom out just a bit so you can understand what we're looking at, right? We'll start on the 1 hour. I think it's a really good time frame to understand what we're trying to do. Okay, we have recently marked out the lower time frame order block on the 15-minute time frame. Here's the liquidity resting, right? So I could anticipate, or I'm anticipating, that price of Nasdaq will come a bit lower as the week opens. We can mark this out like that, and then take profit 1 could be there, and then take profit 2 could be all the way to this high, right? You could hold it all the way till the top over here, right? And this, I really love trading Nasdaq, especially with the Falcon pattern, because it's a swing strategy. I don't see why you would day trade Nasdaq. You could possibly do it, but I think for a long-term swing trade thing, it would very much work, right? So for me, I'll be planning on swinging this pair for the longest. If I buy it now, I would just hold it as much as it is, because we're coming to the end of the fourth quarter. We'll see how the tech companies perform, but for now, that's what I'm seeing. There's some liquidity resting over here. There's an order block that we found on the 15-minute time frame, clean cut finish. There it is. The order block is responsible for the change of character, likewise. And also remember, there is so much volatility that happened over here. It's showing us that there is some sort of like smart money involved, right? A change of character happened over here initially. Let me just use this pencil. A change of character happened over here initially, hence why this order block has been respected, because it broke out, come back in. This is the order block, then it comes back over to this point, purging this liquidity that's resting over here, and then now we could see price doing things like that, and further going higher and higher. All right, we'll go on the 1 hour time frame. So yes, this is how I'm seeing Nasdaq for the long run. It's looking really clean, looking very nice. As much as it is the break of structure, the whole trend has been changed. It's coming back in to retest. Let me just use it like this to see. For those trend line traders, let me remove this order block. This is what you can see as well. Price could come in, retest this trend line, and just fly all the way to the top. So if you are interested in getting these types of trade, join my Telegram. The link will be in my bio. Go to my Instagram. DM me if you still don't understand this thing, and then I'll be hosting a funded account challenge group. If you are interested, please make sure you DM. You just need to sign up with a platform that I use using the affiliate link that I have, so you can get the promo and the discounts as well, so we can all trade together. Remember, there's only 50 spots left, so just make sure that you get a spot if you are gonna buy an account from the funded challenge. But without further ado, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Stay in tune for the next week's trade. And then if you still haven't subscribed, please make sure you do. But after that, Mr. Flair signing out.